Now, kind of going into it, we already kind of lightly touched about OnlyFans. What was Kalita Smith's response to that? Did you guys have a conversation about that?
No.
Now,
She,
okay, do y'all still talk, or like, or she just it doesn't come up?
no, we keep in touch.
Okay,
But Kalita has always been like the cool
the cool
auntie,
auntie. I was gonna say that.
like she respects me as an adult, and she knows that I would never do anything to harm myself or anyone else. So any decision I make, she's like, "Okay, girl, I see you. What we doing?"
How has
Yeah.
OnlyFans kind of like played in terms of like career wise? Has it like helped sustain you? That was a large part of the energy that I saw people throwing at you, like, oh, you don't need the money, or she did she go broke? How do you respond to that criticism?
Um, okay. Well, I people that are outside of the acting world have no place to speak on it. When people are saying, "Oh, those Bernie Mac checks must have dried up," or like from a job 20 years ago when I was a 12-year-old, yeah, like duh.
Mm. Because
um,
we think the residuals are still coming through though.
I mean, they do, but
It's not.
we
It's
weren't.
yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't. Listen, if I was on Friends making $1 million an episode, yes, those residual checks would still be very nice. But as time goes on, they get smaller and smaller every year. You're not making the same amount that you were when the show was current per episode.
Right.
So, as someone who was just a kid, um, don't get me wrong, still making good money,
Mm-hmm.
but 20 years later, those checks are not sustainable for a living. Um, and with the industry being as fickle as it is, you can't count on any job to last or even to book a job. So over the years, I have done regular 9 to 5s.
Oh
Um,
wow.
I owned an ice cream shop for
Wow.
3 years when I was a teenager.
Wow.
And I funded that with my own money. Um, I taught gymnastics to kids where I was making like 11, $12 an hour. So I've done that.
Wow.
Um, but if I can find a way to make enough to buy a home from the comfort and safety of my own living room, why wouldn't I do that?
Right. Yeah, I think because when I first saw it, of course I was surprised. Like that's a natural reaction, but I also think that people are probably they see you in a certain like a royalty, like a certain air, and the association with OnlyFans gets like a bad rap.
As an actor, you play different characters and you get put into all kinds of scenarios. You can play a drug dealer, a drug addict, a murderer, a stripper.
Mm.
People have um, sex, well, not real sex, but
Yeah, yeah.
insinuated
Acting
sex
out.
on camera. So, how is that any different just because it's a different platform? Like, if I'm playing a stripper on TV, would that be more acceptable to everyone if I'm not even stripping on the internet from the comfort of my home? So it makes me wonder, is it the platform itself or the content? Because the content would be the same, if not more. Um,
Hmm.
and then to answer your question,
Yeah.
um, my my family, my immediate family, my mom, my dad, I told them about it before I did it, and they were supportive. My mom has always been my cheerleader, and she was like, "Okay, girl, you want me to do your hair? Like,
Yeah.
make sure you suck in, get them pictures right." My dad was like, "I think that's effing brilliant. You know, do what you got to do and take advantage of it while you can." My friends have been supportive. There have been people in the family who have questioned it, or
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I can't believe so scandalous." I had a family member ask me if I needed a good therapist.
Okay.
So, overall, it's been more support than negativity.
Yeah. Because I think that, a large part of it is just because people see you as, of course, the character that they all got to know you from is Vanessa. And so now we're seeing Vanessa do OnlyFans, and we're not thinking about the actor Camille, who was just doing a job at that point with Vanessa, and then now she continues to find other ways to showcase her talent and her likeness, and she has found a place of OnlyFans. And I do think, to answer you, it's probably more so guilty by association, because some of the young ladies is doing some different things on that platform.
Oh,
it's
I
a
know.
it's a
Yeah.
lot of things. So one's mind goes there if you haven't looked at it yourself. I've seen like different pictures come out, like people. I don't know how you protect yourself where people can't screen share it, and those things happen. So I've caught like some of those just like floating. I think when you first did it, that was when it was like kind of like people were sharing it. But now, more so looking back at it, people are not knowing what you're doing on there, and so now you're just thinking like, oh, she wilding, she up there wilding. But yeah, what kind of content are we doing there in terms of your perspective?
I would say my content is comparable to what you would see in a Maxim magazine.
Got
Um,
you.
Not even really Playboy. Like, yeah, sometimes I wear sheer lingerie and dance around, but I'm never nude. I'm not doing anything
Mhm.
sexually explicit.
Mhm.
It's like, honestly, you can see more on Instagram and Twitter
Mhm.
or on a runway
Mhm.
than what I'm showing.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's not as scandalous as people assume it is.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this teaser. You can watch the full interview right now at hypersclub.com, along with more behind the scenes and additional content.